A lovely good evening, viewers. Welcome to Ubuntu channel. And tonight we have the program Let's Talk Politics. And we are looking at the Lusaka Ndola PPP dual carriage project. This has been making headlines in the past week. And with me, I have my co host, Chaza, to help with this discussion. Chaza, good evening and welcome.
Good evening, CJ, and I'm glad to be here. Thanks.
I hope you've had a great day and had a youthful long weekend.
Of course, the day has been okay, a Monday on a Tuesday. And
Definitely.
I was reading somebody, or rather something has been going around in terms of youthship. They are
Uh-huh.
saying, everyone is a youth, but it depends on the level. So, yes, indeed, it's
Exactly.
been a youthful weekend. I hope you
Yeah.
had a great one too.
Yeah, I had a great weekend. With us, we have our guest, Comrade Patson Chalwe, to help us delve into the discussion. Mr. Chalwe, good evening and welcome to Ubuntu channel.
Thank you very much, Comrade Chiza and Comrade CJ, for hosting us once again. I was hoping that we would have everybody, a full house in fact, because the nature of the subject that will be discussed today is one which is the very sensitive and very heart-wrenching, depending on
Indeed.
where you are looking at it from. So greetings also from my president, President Harry Kalawa. He sends very warm greetings to everybody. And I agree with you. It was a very interesting weekend. We had quite a number of dramatic statements from the present and the past leadership. We saw
Yeah.
drama over the floor.
Yeah, yes, please, indeed. Viewers, this program is called Let's Talk Politics, and we discuss different issues affecting our nation. On this program, we are open to each and everyone. You are very much invited to be part of this discussion. Our ground rules are that we do not entertain character assassination, anything that would demean someone else. We want to have civilized and very rich discussions and debate on this platform. So be free. The link will be shared shortly. You are very much invited to join in the studio, make your submissions on our topic of discussion today, which is the Lusaka Ndola dual carriageway um, upgrade and the PPP project as it is. Chaza,
Yes, CJ.
uh, our guest seems to have lost connectivity, but definitely they'll be joining us. We have received apologies from Comrade Miyanda, Comrade Frank. They are attending to some other work, and we are waiting to be joined by Comrade Nondo and Mukelabai. Well, we have our guest back, and Chaza, maybe we can start. We can get the ball rolling.
Thank you so much, CJ. Probably the first thing that I would like to find out, especially for people that are viewing, for the first time, they may not know who, Mr. Patson Chalwe Kasongo is. Just a brief background, getting to, familiarize ourselves with Mr. Kasongo. Who are you exactly?
Well, Mr. Patson is the son of the soil. To a greater extent, a Pan-African. I believe that we still hold the future of Africa is still hidden in the act and writings of those who have gone before us. And history proves that as long as we decide to forget about where we are coming from, we are definitely going to find a lot of challenges in determining the future of the nation as well as the future of Africa. At a personal level, which is not something that we are here for, I am an academician, so to say. because I am coming from a background of lecturing for quite some time. I lectured at Evelyn Horn for 10 years. On that account, I was teaching science. So I'm a believer in science. I believe that the development of our nation is intricately connected to science. As long as we do not handle science properly, we are going to find that we are not making any progress. So I believe that science is the way to go. I got a master's in a bachelor's degree in physics. I also got my second degree in Bachelor of Business Management from Binary University and a diploma in public administration. So in these issues, I believe that I am bringing in a small value of knowledge, and we are not speaking from without. Most of the issues we have to discuss are actually fundamental in nature. We may not even look at the DU content. We may look at the entire structure and what response we are getting from people and what feeling we are getting, what was getting feeling people are getting or exciting people are getting concerning the issue at hand. Currently, I'm pursuing law so that when we are talking about these issues, it makes more sense. They see from what the law says and not just what we have. I believe that we must knowledge. Knowledge is power. And as long as our leaders, us the leaders, have the knowledge as we are talking, it will make more sense.
That's very interesting there and very insightful about him. And when I saw those books behind him, I had an idea that probably he's one of the bookworms that we have around. And in his introduction about himself, he has really told us that he's so much into books, which is a good thing. Yeah, and looking forward to getting to find out more. I would like now next to find out what is his understanding of the PPP. What is it, and what should constitute it, and what is it all about, its objectives, and so on and so forth. It's unfortunate that internet has thrown him out.
Yeah, indeed, quite unfortunate. So, since our topic of discussion is the Lusaka Ndola PPP project, basically just a background information. A PPP is defined as a project of works undertaken jointly by a government and a private entity or a public-private partnership. Okay, we can say it is a partnership between the public sector and the private sector for the purpose of delivering a project or a service traditionally provided by the public sector. The acronym PPP stands for Public-Private Partnership. So, in our discussion on the 28th, should be on the 28th of February this year, 2023, a PPP was signed. That is the upgrading of 327 kilometer Lusaka Ndola Road to dual carriageway and rehabilitation of 45 kilometers of Masangano Fisenge Luansha Road. This was signed on 28 February 2023. And since the signing, we've been hearing a number of issues. Social media has been buzzing here and there. Different submissions have been made. And we did have the honor of hosting Mr. Noah Nkoma, who made explanations over the same. Chaza, I remember you're the one who handled that interview.
Oh, yes, indeed. He explained quite a number of things. And in the way that he was explaining, it was so convincing that, it's so, more advantageous as compared to, its disadvantages. And we also looked at figures. Some of the fears that the people have out there is that 25 years is such a long time, for the investor to to actually sum, those collections in terms of tolls. But according to Mr. Nkoma, he said that it's not 100% of the collections that will go to the investor. No wonder it's a partnership. So what is it that the government is offering, and what is it that the investor or the public is offering? Then by the end of it, or after the project, what is it that the government will realize, and what is it that the investor or the public is going to realize? So it's some kind of a shared responsibility and a shared benefit also. So from inception, after the undertaking of the road is done, from the tolls, whatever they'll be realizing, it will be shared, except that we do not know at what rate or what rate each one of the parties is going to actually have. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we've had mixed submissions and mixed feelings over the same. Certain analogies that we are getting, very interesting and very funny. A certain colleague of mine was saying, imagine a situation whereby mwauza neighbor kutakumangire ni nyumba, okay, and then neighbor atenga ndalama kuli madam zamunoma mpasa zijata zisungako zinangu azigurako vintu ndeze mna asebenzesa kumangirani nyumba. Then when your neighbor is done building the house, you move in, start renting, and you'll be paying him back rent. So
yeah,
there are a number of analogies that are going around, and there's really need for more information to be given out to the public so that people really get to understand what the truth is on the ground, because it is really an important topic, and it is a sensitive matter. Yeah.
And to me, I think it's a good thing, even just from the definition that you are from reading or giving us, and also what the act is saying. The intention behind a PPP is a very good one. I would liken it to even just a loan, a personal loan. Exactly. If you do not have the capacity, for example, to even buy a motorized vehicle, a car, then you go to a bank, you get a loan. They'll give you the terms to say, this loan, if you pay it in 12 months, the terms will be like this. Per month, you are expected, to be paying such an amount. If you pay it, in 5 years, the terms will be like this. You'll be paying such an amount in 5 years. So the longer, the tenure of the loan, the lower, the amount that you would be paying, per month. So even this, PPP to me is actually the same. If the number of years were to be reduced, the amount or actually the share that the investor is expected to get to be huge, maybe even 100%, if we say maybe 5 years. So the longer the tenure, the lower the amounts that the investor will be getting. So why does a person even get a personal loan? It's because they don't have the capacity to actually buy from their own pocket. So they'll think about it. A loan is a cost, but is it more beneficial for me to get this loan and get a car? Maybe you want to use it as transport, as business. Or maybe you want to build a house. You have a good intention, but you do not have the finance. If someone finances you, they need also to benefit from what they have actually advanced to you. So, it's something you get to think about, the profit that you realize by the end of it all, as compared to not doing it at all. If you don't get a loan, you don't buy that car, you don't buy that house, or you don't build that house, is it a good thing? So you weigh the options that you do have. So to the face of it, the PPP, I think, is a good thing because, we do not have money and we cannot borrow to actually, do this road. And we look at, how many years have passed, how many, outcries have been there in terms of, this road, this important road that leads, to economic activities on the Copper Belt, and also back to the city. I think it's such an important road.
But then, we've received so many mixed feelings and reactions over the same
Mm-hmm.
road. There was even supposed to be a protest concerning
Mm-hmm.
this same project. Why has it been, met with some form of resistance? You see, um, I don't know. Is it that it was not done very well in terms of information dissemination, or what?
Yeah, to me, I think it's something to do with information dissemination. And you would agree with me that this is not the first PPP that has ever existed in our country. We've had so many PPPs, except that they have not even been publicized at all. People don't know what is happening, and they would think the government is building this road. The government is constructing this building or undertaking this project, not knowing and not understanding that it is out of a certain PPP that such a project is being undertaken. And now this particular one that we have, there's a danger that some people have little knowledge about it and not full knowledge. So the little knowledge that they have, and which is as a result of little information flowing from the government, they are using this little knowledge to the detriment of the government. There are certain things that have not been explained. If everything was in public domain, even to create an understanding, I think all these problems would not have arisen. That's what I
Wow,
think.
wow, great. We have Comrade Chalwe back in studio, and we are joined with Mukelabai. Let us just welcome Mukelabai. Mukelabai, welcome and good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, panelists. Good evening, Mr. Chalwe. Good to see you, Mr. Chaza.
Good evening, and it's good to have you as well.
My
Thank
apologies
you.
for coming late and my video. I have been busy with my son doing homework.
Oh, yeah.
It is well
Yeah,
understood.
parenting. Well,
Mhm.
thank you.
Very nice
Th-
to have you. I was worried because my phone keeps on misbehaving. It gets very hot, and I lose
okay.
the broadcast. And having you was a very important thing because you cover up for me than leaving a big gap once I go out. And it's just a few minutes. I come back.
Uh-huh.
I've even borrowed a phone so that I try to join. It's that bad. It is actually that bad. Otherwise,
Yeah,
we are good. We need to do this. We need to do this.
indeed. So,
If I may, before it gets hot again, allow
uh-huh.
me to say, I was saying, that's my belief. I believe that leaders must be informed. The followers may be less informed, but to have a leader that is not informed is very detrimental to the nation. And if you have noticed, these countries, developed countries, what they simply do is they will just send the most educated people to come and entangle you in very simple statements. And like Comrade Kiza is indicating, as long as the government is not explaining clearly what they are doing, as long as they can't connect the past to the present, the misgivings that we've had in the past about privatization and the current activities, and seeing that the president is connected to privatization and the current activities, people will pick up and create their own story. As long as you have not provided information, you are leaving a gap, information gap that other people are going to fill up on your behalf. So if they have clear information concerning this, besides the deal and everything else, it is a requirement that they explain it and put it very clear. The details of the contract must be made so clear such that it leaves no suspicion on our part as the opposition political parties. And it's not just us, there's also the Zambian people who may have misgivings over the same deal that they have made. I thought I indicate that background. We can go into the actual meat if that's okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And before you were cut out, I was, talking. I mean, after you were cut out, I was talking about you, that the background of books that we have behind you is, insinuating that you are a bookworm, and you have confirmed in your own introduction that you are a bookworm indeed, even by the plethora of qualifications that you do hold. Congratulations, by the way.
I still indicate that leadership is a preserve of people who are engaged with the reality of the present, the past, and they can be able to coin a future. As long as we miss that on our platform, we'll have a situation where leaders with influence, understanding that leadership is a one-word defined statement, and that is all about influence. As long as they have influence, they will woo the masses and they will be voted. So as we do our leadership, we are proponents. And I think I was about to say I am the research and policy chairperson for the party. That shows that we have a lot of respect for research, and research is exactly books, it's exactly journals, it's exactly publications from academics and so on, informing where we are coming from, and where we wish to go. So we are believers, and I believe that you too, you believe the same thing. That's why when we talk about education in Zambia, we have gone so far, and we need to start seeing the dividends from our journeys in terms of academics as a nation. Yeah.
Well,
Thank you so much. We do appreciate Mr. Mukelabai, Mr. Kasongo. I don't know which one is your surname. I heard my colleagues calling you Mr. Chalwe. So I was wondering, is Chalwe the middle name or the surname?
I usually like to be called Chairman PK Chalwe. So if you are okay, you can call me Chairman. That's okay.
Okay. Beautiful. So we have looked at, the definition of a public-private partnership. Yeah. And where we are now, I would like to hear your views, what, this is, and also what is the best way of implementing, a PPP. What is the suitable way of actually undertaking a public, private partnership? Let's start with Mr. Mukelabai. Your viewpoint, implementation.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. I don't see any lady here. I overheard you talking about the dissemination of information that Zambians are unaware of, or they are lacking information flow from the institution. Well, I feel like, yes, on that aspect, the government hasn't done much, even though they are trying, because the government is busy fighting the propaganda out there that is being precipitated by individuals that are not happy with any government undertaking. So that's why you find that people choose, as you know, us Zambians, we thrive where there's drama, instead of doing research, like our brother here has put it, to say we have to be able to do our own research and find out what is this PPP, what is it? What does it do? Why are we talking about it instead of busy criticizing just because there has been a mention of colossal sum of money that is going to go to a private entity? Well, in this area, I would simply say we have to really have trust in the people that we appointed, or rather we elected into government, that they have our interest at heart. They have our interest at heart, and they will never, especially coming from a background where we have been beaten several times, and this time around we are quite shy, hence those questions. But for now, I feel that we just need to trust our government for what they have they are planning to, and we know that the government is not going to spend any money over this property, over this road, the road in question, and this money will come from investors. In this case, we've talked of the NAPSA and the Worksman compensation that are coming in as an investors, as are interested to invest in this road. And this money will definitely, they will get back their dividends and their profit. And they cannot just give out money without any surety or any collateral. So they are very, very aware the risks involved, and they know that if they were to give the government that money, when we know already that this government owes a lot of money to foreign entities, so it is imperative that we use what we have within our locality and invest into this road, and we know we're going to have something positive that's going to come out of this. At the end of the day, it's the Zambian who's going to benefit. The road will be built, and there will be less death. You know, this road is a death trap for our brothers and sisters, for us all, and we today facing a lot of danger. So when we hear somebody is coming in to mitigate this problem, and the government is involving the private partnership to come in and beef up the support and bring development, why not? Why don't we utilize this? To me, it is something that we can go in, and if we know that it doesn't work, please, we are at liberty to even breach the contract or come out of this peacefully without any payment or being taken to court. That's my say for now.
Right, thank you, Mukelabai. CJ, yes, come through, CJ.
Yes, please. Thank you very much, Mukelabai, for that submission. Well, would like to really delve into this project. You know, since we've had this hullabaloo and this commotion going on, what are the notable benefits and the notable problems that can come out of this PPP? Comrade Chalwe. Okay. I'll bring this back to you, Mukelabai. What are the notable benefits or notable problems that can come out of this PP? Your take.
And Mr. Mukelabai, before you come in, I would like to add onto the same question. You know, the problems, the benefits that are in this you know, specific PPP. We've heard a lot, like you know, what you are from talking about. Is there a problem in borrowing, you know, from NAPSA, workers' compensation, or rather, I may even put it in the other way around? Is it a problem for NAPSA or workers' compensation to invest in this PPP, or you know, is it a problem that information has gone into common balance out there to the people? Where is the problem really as regards NAPSA workers compensation being part of this particular PPP? Mr. Mukelabai, are you there?
Was that question directed to me?
At the time, we did not have Mr. or Chairman Chalwe. Yes, you can actually take it up. Then we'll get to Mr. Chalwe just after your take.
Okay. No, what can the Zambian people today we seem to be so involved and want to speak for.
It appears Mr. Mukelabai is having a problem as regards connectivity. So as he has even been thrown out, as we are waiting for him, we'll direct this question to Chairman Chalwe. Chairman Chalwe, we want to find out from you what are the benefits and also the problems that are envisaged, in the PPP that we are talking about today. Would like also to find out where the problem is in terms of NAPSA and workers' compensation coming into this, project. Is there a problem funding this project by these, two organizations, or is it a problem for the investor to go to these organizations and ask them to be part of the project?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, a PPP is a public-private partnership, and these come in different forms. And one of them is a peculiar one. By the way, these are usually long-term projects where government wishes to partner. It might be because they do not have all the finances to run a project. As a result, they seek the help of the public. That's number one, of the public. That is the private sector or the general public, in this case where we have a private company. The other thing is just to make sure that the people are involved in whatever is happening in government. That is the other thing. So it is something that has been happening for a very, very long time. Some of the activities that have been done in other countries have been so done for as early as maybe 1000 AD, such that the government and the private sector, they come together and create some of the activities, projects that are supposed to be done. That's on the part of the PPP. On the other hand, the current PPP that we are talking about is actually named a concession. And this concession is an agreement between government so that they manage to do a road from Lusaka all the way to Ndola. And we agree that the intentions are noble. And you and I seated here will agree that it's even long overdue. The Ndola Lusaka road, if you have ever driven on that road, then you know that it is a very dangerous road just by itself being small. That means a lot of people, when they're driving from Lusaka going to Ndola or from Ndola to Lusaka, they are at very high risk of accidents. That is agreed. I think everyone, meaning Zambian, understands the dangers that are there. During the day, it's not uncommon to have a chain of trucks following each other. Meaning, if you are in a hurry and on the road, especially when you are moving from one city to the other one, we usually have a sense of being in a hurry. So you may try to overtake. And that process has caused a lot of accidents to happen. We have argued, before we go to the actual meet, we have mostly argued that roadworthy cars must have car-worthy roads. I hope you get the sense in that statement. Not only is it a requirement that the government requires of us to have roadworthy cars, the government has a responsibility to produce and give us car-worthy roads also.
Car-worthy roads.
Meaning we must support each other. In
Exactly.
simpler words, we are saying the idea of Lusaka Ndola dual carriageway is way, way, way long overdue. And any well-meaning politician, any well-meaning thinker knows that this is the right way to go. Whatever the details are there, we will disagree on many other things, but not on the principle of having a road. So even as we go into the act of discussing this, I wanted to make that very clear, that we appreciate the fact that we need the road from Lusaka to Ndola. Then also, let's make it very clear that if we are to rank the roads in Zambia, which one is the most profitable and economic road for the nation, you will agree that Lusaka Ndola Road is in fact a very serious road when it comes to the development of the nation. When we talk of the toll gates and the toll fees that we get, it is common knowledge and common sense that the highest fees are actually collected along this road, because when you are coming from Ndola to Lusaka, if you have bought anything in the copper belt, in terms of minerals, in terms of whatever other activities, those who are at Copperbelt University and they drive there or they use buses, they have to use the toll gates using the same. So it is the most economic road that we have, meaning it is a short piece. When people come, they land at our national airport here in Lusaka, they decide to go by road. That's a road they'll use. So if people need to be exposed to how Zambia is developed, or is indeed developing, we need them to see that we have done something sensible along this road. I thought that background should be important. It is not even political. Any well-meaning Zambian, any well-meaning politician must be thinking that, yes, this job is supposed to be done. That is the first part. If there's any comment, you can come through before we go to the other weightier matters of this discussion.
Beautiful. Let's invite Mr. Mukelabai, Mr. Chalwe, or rather Chairman Chalwe. You've given us the benefits, the goodness of this PPP. Let's hear Mr. Mukelabai before we go to the problems or the disadvantages or the shortcomings.
I just wish, my apologies again. I am actually driving as I'm talking to you.
Okay.
Yes. I just wish our politicians or our opposition today, they are speaking like our brother here, Mr. Chalwe, on the issue of the benefits. You are looking at the overall benefits of this economical road. But what we hear today is just people arguing, or rather purporting or making insinuations that somebody somewhere is going to benefit or is benefiting from this road. I find that kind of mindset to be very, very sad, in a sense that I know that we are coming from a background where whenever we see an opportunity, whenever we see a government undertaking a project that is taking place, our colleagues always used to think of what am I going to get at the end of the day out of this deal. And this is what they think, because most of this opposition, especially by PF, they have this mindset where they are always thinking if they were in power themselves, or they were in those position themselves, they would have actually benefited or gotten something out of that. So, and they are now using those narratives and blaming or pushing those narratives to the current government to say there's corruption, even when they don't have enough evidence, even when the project has not even commenced yet, the agreement are still in a pipeline. People are still discussing, and the opposition are already making all these propaganda and new innuendos that someone somewhere is going to benefit out of this. How do you expect the project to start or to commence with such kind of mindset, where people are being showered with lies without taking into account the real issues? So what I can only suggest to the opposition that are busy trying to gun down or to shoot down this project proposal, which is going to be beneficial to them and the rest of the Zambians, is if you have a legitimate cause or you have a legitimate case, you know you have a probable cause, instead of going on social media, please utilize the court systems. Go and apply for an injunction or petition. That way, you will go to court and adjudicate on the matters. Unlike pointing fingers at these guys who are planning to invest, it's like we are now telling our parastatals on how to invest their monies. I find that to be a little bit unfair and very hypocritical, especially coming from our brothers that were in power, that were using the same system, and they built a lot of malls. Today, if you go in Lusaka, that's the infrastructure they've been talking about all the time, singing. And the road.
Mr. Mukelabai, Mr.
Yes, please.
Mukelabai, I would say a hungry man is an angry man. So it may be difficult, for a hungry man.
You know, they are almost 2 years, 2 years in opposition without pay. How do you expect they will survive? Some of their money.
Sorry, Mukelabai.
Yes,
we might drift away from the topic. Let us come back to the topic so that we can have enough time to handle the pertinent issues concerning the topic. Right about now, what you had posed was what we need to look into the problems that or disadvantages of the PPP and cite this particular PPP that has been a source of concern. So, Mukelabai, I don't know if you would want to head in that direction, or we invite Chairman Chalwe to make his submission.
The advantages, my brother, are there. The only disadvantages are if we are hit with the calamity, natural act of God, where we have so much rain that we can't, that these guys, these foreign investors that are partnering with our, that will borrow money from our pension schemes. What happens if they default? Are we going to hold on to, since we owe China, and we know that China, as Zambia, we owe China colossal sum of money through, of course, the PF, how you know the system, how they went through and overborrowed, and today we are in trouble. So here is the Chinese company owned by the Chinese government. If they happen to default, and we as the government of Zambia, as the people, we owe Chinese colossal sum of money, will it be okay? Is it okay for us to utilize the collateral, the monies that we owe them, to cover up our if anything, our losses that we may encounter, if at all that happen. So I feel like we have a basket, we have a safe net as a country. If at all we if at all if at all they were to default, these guys, and decide to run away with our money, we will have some kind of a basket, or I mean a safe net, that we can just go and get our money from the government that we owe money. So that could be the only disadvantage, but at the same time it's an advantage because we are very safe in terms of surety. The disadvantage that we are all talking about is we are all relying on foreign entities, companies that are helping, that are trying to come up and do our roads. How safe are we? Where are our engineers? Let me just end there because I had something in mind I wanted to say, but it's just gone.
Th-
Let me think it
th-
through.
Okay, thank you very much, Mukelabai. We have Chairman Chalwe back, and before the network throws him out again, Chairman, please make your submissions. What are the problems or disadvantages, and what are the fears surrounding this PPP?
Just confirm if you're able to get me clearly.
Yes, we are loud and clear.
Okay, thank you very much. First and foremost, allow me to say it's very easy to deviate from the subject and attack the opposition. It's the easiest thing to do, and it's also very easy on our part as opposition to deviate and attack the ruling party, which is something that I do not imagine that we should do cooperate to such, because there's an issue really to be discussed, and this issue is extremely important to the Zambian people. And I would really wish us to focus on the subject, give out as much information about it. It doesn't matter what all other people are saying. I think it's the fact that Citizens First is here, the UPND is here, and the citizens are here. And that is what they want to know. What is the opposition's, why is the opposition having a very uncomfortable time that the UPND has made such a deal with a foreign entity? I think that is what they want to hear, not our fights. We can leave our fights for another day. Let's fight the actual subject. I think it will be very helpful and it is going to be very beneficial. There are several issues. I have stated clearly the advantages that are there. And I think most of the Zambians are excited, except there are those question marks. I was calling someone from the Copper Belt, and he was telling me, here in the Copper Belt, people are very angry. I asked him, are they happy about it? Because this road is directly connecting Lusaka province to the Copper Belt province. Are the people happy? Are they excited? Obviously, they are very excited about the perspectives of the road, but they're not excited about the deal that the government has made. That is where the bone of contention is. When we discuss the pertinence of the road itself, people have no issues. There is nobody, opposition or ruling, who has come out to say, this is a bad idea, we do not need a road. The issue is the government has not paid attention to listen to what the people are saying. People are saying, yes, the road is okay, but we are uncomfortable with the terms. We are uncomfortable with the partners that we have chosen. We feel insulted as a people that we have decided to go out there, pick a foreign company, when we have engineering companies here, we have ZNS right here, which is capable of doing the job. And to cap it up, it's not like this company that they have gotten is going to come with its money so that we say there is a foreign direct investment. No, these people are coming here to get the money that they are supposed to use and then build the road using the money that they find here. Then use our money to get their own personal or company interest. Then use the same money to create enough money to pay the loan. In short, they are playing it smart on our own soil, using our own resources. After 25 years, they are going to go out richer, and possibly they would have gotten more opportunities for business along that economic road than the Zambian people themselves. That is where the bone of contention is. It has nothing to do with the opposition being jealousy of anything or having misgivings against the president. No. The issue is that where the deal is sitting is where the discomfort is. If it can be done, I'll give you an example. There were issues like, hey, we need bursary for the students. The UPND made a promise that they must provide the bursary.
Oh, unfortunately, we have lost him.
Yeah, may I just come in on that one?
Yes, please.
Yeah. You see, that's you know, tulabutukira okwikata insoka kumuchila before taula andila suma. If we rush and mwaikata insoka kumuchila, it will bite you. You know.
Maybe Mr.
So
Mr. Mukelabai,
the best, yeah.
Mr. Mukelabai, we may
Yes,
give
please.
him probably a few seconds to join us. Since you are reacting to him, it is important for him to get to hear what you have to say. What do you think, CJ?
Yeah, yes, I
No,
agree with you.
I believe he's listening. He's just having trouble with network, but he's listening. But we can't just sit here and wait until he comes. He will come and catch up.
Okay, so
But he has a point. He has a point on the issue of concern of
Mr.
the Zambia.
Just a moment, CJ, you are saying something.
Actually, he's joined in. He's joined in again.
Okay, Mr. Mukelabai, you can proceed.
Na tira ndokutilati, I was saying tuilavu tukiro kwikata ensoka kumuchila nga tulefo kwipa ensoka tuyumine kumutwe. That is what I've been taught when I was young. When I went to Ukuchemengombe mu forest, that ngawamone ensoka is about to attack you, don't rush and hit it kumuchila. Yume kumutwe. Nomba pande munakwati, we are jumping the gun. In Zambia, I know we may have concerns. The concerns are legit, but we have not even tried this project. It has not even commenced yet. I know the bone of contention is on the issues, the monies that they are going to realize from the what is it called, the targets, the 22 years or 25 years period. That is what many Zambians are against. To say, why should we have 25 years given to a foreigner that is going to be receiving money and is going to build the road for us, and we are going to pay him. He is going to be receiving money to maintain the road. You know, Zambia, our roads are quite the way the same investors, the way they have been building or constructing our roads, they're quite sad that there are roads that are built with very poor very poor resurfaced, and they just get damaged within a year or two. This road, I don't know how many times we have busy resurfaced or busy maintained this road, and how much money we have spent on this money from the time we got Independence Day. This road, we have spent, I believe, trillions of kwachas just on this Ndola Lusaka road. And here is an investor who is willing, okay, to maintain this road for us. We know we have failed to maintain this road as Zambians from the time immemorial, from the time we got independence. We have failed to maintain this road. And we are busy talking about let's get our engineers to get into to get the road. Are you sure we are going to manage this time? What would change? What would change if we failed from independence to law? We are still relying on foreign contractors to come and build our own shops, our own buildings. We are failing. Meanwhile, we have graduates of engineers that are graduating, bricklayers, whatever, all kind of professions that are coming out every year from universities.
So,
So
Mukelabai,
yes,
so
please.
in other words, you are agreeing with what Chairman Chalwe is saying, that
I'm agreeing in a sense that we shouldn't rush and start throwing stones to this current deal. We should wait and see. If we see that they are not doing as we agreed, then we have the right to come in and either terminate this agreement or contract. This contract cannot be yaya. Any contract can be terminated at any given time. Let's just ask the government to give us information about the conditions, the terms and conditions of this agreement. And if we want this government to have favorable conditions that both parties are agreeable, then we can participate. How do we participate? Of course, we can't all Zambians come in and we can participate through our representatives, the legislatures.
okay,
So that is my take on this aspect. So we Zambians should not start throwing stones just mere assumptions. Let's give these guys a benefit of doubt. Let's see how it will go. Definitely the road is going to be there and we are going to benefit. But if it comes to the issue to do with the collecting of levy from this road for maintenance, because maintaining the road is another huge, expensive undertaking. We Zambian cannot.
okay.
We have failed to construct Mongu Sesheke Road
Th-
or
Thank you,
these other roads.
Mukelabai. Thank you,
How are we
Mukelabai.
going to manage? How are we going to manage? How are we going
let's
to manage
let,
to
let's
maintain the Lusaka and
let's have
Ndola Road?
let's
Huh?
have the chairman's input on this one.
Mkwaye.
Ch- ch-
Leken parking and parking alomba.
all
Nimfika.
right, Chairman, you've heard Mukelabai submissions, and in your response, I would like you to highlight the particular aspects of this deal that are really a source of concern.
Allow me to say this is a very, very emotional issue to the people of Zambia. And it is very easy for us to go about it in a very casual way. And hence, sometimes we will talk and we, instead of people sitting down and listening and getting what we are saying, they just go out offended because they look at us and ask themselves, what are these people talking about? Do they understand how we are feeling? Yes, we may take the issue to the court and do an injunction, but we know also as the opposition how we operate. We understand that just some few months ago, we were on government saying, government, we need you to do this. We need you to ensure that what you said you would give bursary to the students, you do it. After they managed to do that, did you hear the opposition talk? No, the opposition shifted their attention to the next promise that the government had given. That is a job that we have as opposition. We sit here, we talk a lot, we express ourselves and our minds because we have the interest of the people of Zambia. A win for the Zambians is a win for us, and a win for us is a win for the Zambians. And whose resume is improving when you do the will of the people? It is yours as a party. You will come back and say we managed, even if you manage to do it under pressure. No matter what we can say about privatization in the time, no matter how much intimidation was put on the people, Even after 30 years down the line, we can safely say we have failed to be convinced on the efficacy of the activities of privatization.
He's gone again, and we are looking forward to have a completion of his thoughts there.
Yes, please.
No, he has a point. He has a point that we need opposition that is there to give checks and balances, and not just to criticize or start acting or defending or condemning the government just using innuendos or propaganda. We want opposition that is going to be there to come up with real well-based issues with good research and with a very good backbone, where you have done your own research, or you have a history, or you have precedents that it has happened before. You are very positive that this will happen. Meal allowance, remember, it was there. We knew it was doing well, but the moment they removed it, the opposition cried. We listened.
And not to cut you, sorry, my network is misbehaving, so
okay, please go ahead.
Interject every now and then, so that by the time it misbehaves, I would have put across my point. The whole idea is the opposition, the same way UPND, when it was in opposition, was able to express itself and make it very clear that the direction that you are taking is the reason why your party is going to go out of power. If there is anything that UPND, PF, MMD, UNIP, and now Citizens First must understand is the power lies in the hands of the people. You cannot with impunity go about doing things against the will of the people, even when you can sense clearly that the people are against this thing.
It's unfortunate, Yeah, very unfortunate.
Va opposition vamonati nga vakwata a different view. Vena vafimwena muri ichalo chonse nachikwata different view. That's not true. But we understand. Come with a different view. That makes sense. Not to argue or to disagree just for the sake of disagreeing, or rather making the ruling party or the government seem incompetent, that they have nothing, they have not done their own work. Minimizing what they are going to do as a government. When we work together, and you bring out these issues in parliament, definitely the ruling party is going to listen. Not you ukutuka, ukuchita personal attacks, some assassinate, all what is this propaganda? But especially by PF, I don't know. I don't understand why we have such people. We need this gentleman. We need this gentleman at Citizen First Citizen Party. Probably, yeah, Citizen First. We need Citizen First to go and help the opposition in parliament to come up with real issues, to dispute with the well-informed issue.
Such that you have to focus on the actress.
Oh no! Wow! He's really having challenges with the network there.
Yeah. So, and we've remained stagnant. We are stuck on the benefits and the problems or shortcomings of this PPP. And I wish we could delve on the problems and also the solutions that or possible solutions that could be offered to the government.
There's no way a government would undertake a project that they know that they have not done a research and are prepared for any challenges that may come. This government knows they have entered into a
Sorry,
contract.
sorry, Mukelabai. Allow me to allow Chairman Chalwe before he's thrown out again.
Disappearing.
Be careful with your network. But PF, but sana propaganda. They may even jeopardize this.
Chairman, go ahead.
Thank you. Good points. One of the things that we are observing is the characteristic nature of this deal. The Ndola Lusaka Road or Lusaka Ndola Road. It has the makings of privatization. And I don't know how you might see it, but how else can it be called when the entire road has been put in the hands of the private sector? That is the full definition of what privatization is.
No.
What we're seeing is for the coming 3 years, that's the other point. For the coming 3 years, we are going to have a situation where we, the Zambian, sponsor the road through the NAPSA fees that we pay and maybe some bank loan that they are going to get from somewhere. Then after
And there we go again. Network issues.
You see, mambo kimwena muri privatization apo pena awe mayo. You see, just because Akainde at one point was involved in privatization, that's why now Mule Mfana wa first citizen now they are insinuating, because they that's not privatization, even though they claim
Citizens first.
it has it has this deal has but
Marks
it is
at
not.
marks of privatization.
Yes, that is not true. This is just the work of our opposition, that when they don't have enough evidence over what they are disputing, instead of coming to challenge with real issues, with either decided cases or with proper research, they are coming up with all this, all in the name of painting a picture. Telling the Zambian people that we have to be careful, because this is the gentleman that we have alleged to have had gotten involved in a privatization 30, 40 years ago, and we must be careful when they are coming up with such deals. So this is where we know, this is where they are heading. Now, proper proper defense, or proper arguments. Instead, they are now fishing. They will come up with another issues. So we just need to be very careful and cautious, because I don't think every Zambian out there, they think this is now another privatization. But what does PPP stand for? What do we understand? Do we understand the act? Because this is an act that was enacted in Parliament. What does it say? What does the law say? When they are using all these legal issues, entering into contract, bringing in investors, how is this turning into a private when it is a three-way thing? The government is involved. Government is involved through parastatus that we have. So how is it a private issue?
Okay, so we have Chairman Chalwe back in studio. Time is running out, and I would like submissions to be made very quickly, briefly, and on point, so that we can maximize on the little time that we have. Chairman Chalwe, please quickly, in summary, go through the challenges that you had started highlighting earlier in this PPP.
I think before you bring in Wacharwe, give us time, because we have breakage of internet. So if only for a program this time around the summary, that's not fair and lovely.
No, I haven't said we are closing it right now, but would
No,
like
you're
to have
talking
those
of summary.
submissions. Instead of having a lengthy explanation of each problem, it would be in the best interest of time to have a summary of those problems, so that
Okay.
we could have the real issues at hand. Because
Okay.
yeah,
No,
in the next 20 minutes we'll have to end the program.
no, done well.
Yeah, unfortunately we've lost him. Chaza, are you there?
Yes, CJ, I am right here.
Interesting discourse.
Yeah, and personally, I do feel we need more time on this topic. Especially with Mr. Mukelabai and also Chairman Chalwe to go deeper than we have gone today. We've been vitiated mostly because of network. And I would love to see even a one-on-one. Mr. Mukelabai comes in, chairman comes in, but due to connectivity on chairman's side, it has somewhat been affected. And finally, even Mr. Mukelabai has joined in terms of connectivity. Yeah. Welcome back, chairman.
I can see that even Mukelabai has also now.
Oh yes, and then just before you rejoined, we were saying we need more time, even another day, to continue on this program, because we have stagnated, slightly because of connectivity, especially on your side. Would like to see, the one-on-one. Mr. Mukelabai comes, you come in, and have a rebuttal like that. But connectivity has not been so friendly.
I relish the idea of Mukelabai. He's a very civilized gentleman with very good points that is sharing. I really, really genuinely appreciate Comrade Mukelabai. I think on the platform of politics, we need to be more reasonable. Zambians have heard more noise than sense when we are discussing these things. It is very injurious to our own democracy. We have a feeling of hooliganism across the nation. It's them versus us, and not this idea versus that idea. Like I was saying, the idea I got 1 or 2 points from him, but I still stand that a lot of Zambians are feeling that this deal has the making of privatization, in the sense that it is something that is being given out to a company to run the entire road for the coming 25 years. That's a very long time. And when Zambians show this anger and frustration, I think it is merited and we need to listen to them. Now, personally, I am gentle when I speak, but you know that Zambians in general, they are not gentle people. When they are offended, they'll come out and say it the way it is. We may be diplomatic human beings, but out there, and that person who is complaining, stop thinking that everybody who says what does not sit well with UPND, then he's a pro-PF person. Far from it, I'm not. Other people are not. And you not put all of them in one basket so that you handle it and push them out. It's them versus PF and the ideas of PF. Mr. Mukelabai, now I can see you. It's them versus PF and PF. No, they are very serious, varied points from varied people of varied backgrounds, sharing the same fears. And as long as they do not listen, the UPND, they will suffer the same consequences that the PF had, because PF also, in the process of being so defensive, they close their ears from listening to the people. The people were saying A, they were thinking B and implementing B. In the end result is because power resides in the people. They were made to go out. We are saying, Mukelabai and the UPND and the government in place, it is important that you listen to the people. And the people are saying, this deal we love the project, but where the deal is sitting, we are uncomfortable. And if it continues, more people will be frustrated. And do not blame the opposition when they use the same issue to show you that you are wrong, and they side with the people. Then you get offended that it is propaganda. It is not propaganda. You are not listening to the people. You have lost the hearing that you had when you were in opposition. We need you to have that, so that this deal they are saying, one, it feels like you are handing us over to a colonial institution in the sense of IMF. Communicate. If you think it is not the case, talk to us. We are your citizens. We may be opposition, but you are the leaders in government. So talk to us. Show that you mean business and you mean well in terms of communication. So far, we can assure you that the sense that we have is that you are privatizing the road. You are giving it to the private sector. Number two, it is the insult that you have given and you continue to pour on our engineers. You keep on saying the roads, our engineers have failed, our engineers are incapable, then close the universities if you have no faith in our universities. These are the people who have produced maybe 2 or 3 of our presidents. You cannot say our engineers are failing. We do not have systems that empower our engineers. The first biggest project to me, and I think to citizens first, we can agree that this Lusaka Ndola dual carriageway is the biggest project Zambia was supposed to undertake. The other project we had was the Tazara rail line, which was undertaken by China. This is the next big thing that we are having, connecting not one province, but 3 provinces. It passes from Lusaka all the way across, crossing the entire central province, then entering a Copperbelt province, and all the way to the headquarters of the Copperbelt province. It is a very important, and it was supposed to show where we are coming from as engineers and scientists, where we are, and the faith that government has in us. It was better placed in the hands of ZNS. This is the general view, that ZNS was better placed because the money would have remained. The UPND together, Navakalamba and Mukelabai, you will agree that when you are calculating GDP, you do not worry about what foreigners are doing. You worry about what your citizens themselves are doing, whether they are outside or whether they are inside, the income that they are making. The GDP, as it stands on this road, is going to be accounted for mostly on the outside than it is going to be accounted for within our country. What are we doing? Mukelabai, this is a patriotic issue. It is not an issue to do with a political party or me being Citizens First or you being UPND or anyone being PF or any other party. No, it is about how our children, how posterity is going to view our thinking when they look back at the nature of deals that we were making in our generation. This is our time. This is our thinking. This is our implementation. The effects that is going to have is, one, we're undermining our own people. I believe that Zambia has grown to the extent that we can run it and run it well. I believe that a lot of employment can be to our own. So that is the other thing. Besides the privatization aspect, there is now the second issue of doubting our own need and our own engineers. Scientists, they may not come to the looking for thinkers and but in the corners, they are trying as in years of they have gone out to and collect the other end when we should have danced there and showed the rest of the nation how far we have come and the nature of Christ that the government offer. That is the second issue that we are.
Are we still getting chairman? I'm struggling. I'm barely getting him right now.
Yeah, I was also having a challenge. That is towards the end. Towards the end, I couldn't.
Can you get me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
All right.
Okay. We are remaining with 10 minutes.
Okay.
So in our submissions, I would like us to be as brief, straight to the point as possible, so that at least we can have a lot of meat by the time we get to the end of the 10 minutes. Chaza, over to you.
Thank you so much. Chairman has highlighted quite a number of issues that are coming from the public in terms of the PPPs. Talked about the aspect of privatization and people not engaged and so on and so forth. And largely, even looking at the number of years, 25 years in the hands of, an investor that is totally surrendering, to the private there. Maybe a reaction from Mr. Mukelabai. Do you think these issues raised by Chairman Chalwe are indeed issues that, you can look into and appreciate that indeed these are pertinent issues as regards this PPP?
Of course, he is right on the. He is very right. I agree with him. However, I have some few issues that I just wanted to rebuttal on the issue he raised of involving our locals. Of course, that is the most, and also the issue of money going outside to foreign companies instead of remaining in Zambia. Yes, on that aspect is very right. But in this case, we are not getting money from outside. In this case, we are getting money within. And how these companies, the private investors, are going to source for fund, it's really entirely none of our business. And who is going to give them the money? It's entirely out of. But we only come in, we only get concerned when our money, our retirement money, is now in question. That is where now we need to now come in to say, wait a minute, guys. Why is our money going to be invested in this area? And is this investment going to be? Is it investment for outsiders or it's for the inside? It's our own, within our own country. Who is going to benefit at the end of the day? And where is this money? How is they going to gain their profits? Is this money going to be gained? The profit is going to be gained from outside or within our own country? Is this a good investment? And if it is a very big project, like he has put it, why should we give it to trial and error guys instead of giving to the people that we know have a track record of constructing good and better roads and doing it the best way professionally? These guys, when they employ, they would definitely, if it was me, I would simply suggest that these private companies, let them employ our own engineers. Let them not bring their people from China to come and run this show. I would simply suggest that let them employ our own men and women within our country so that they can just provide us with machinery, because we don't have the machineries, to be honest. If we can't put a moon can't put a man on the moon, who are we to bring? We can't even produce mazembe in our own country. We were relying on buying from abroad. So who are we?
So what I can only say is let's get the knowledge, the know-how, the professionalism, but manpower, we can use this. This is where now we are going to benefit as well as a country. We're going to create employment. I wish in that contract, those are the conditions that this government, these are the things that we need to cry for. Let these private investors employ our locals. Let them use our locals. Even those guys that are going to be receiving or getting money from the booth, from these toll gates, should not be Chinese, should be Zambians. Let those people who are going to drive these machines to construct this road should not be Chinese, but let them use Zambians. We'll be happy for that. But if we see an influx, like I saw last time when I was coming to Zambia in 2014, 15, with my family, where we jumped on Ethiopian airline, it was full of Chinese nationality. I was like, are we going to a different country? Yet we are coming to Zambia, and those guys were coming to work. Ukushtishe inkoko pa market no misal at these investors. Awe. If that happens, then I support this gentleman's view. But if that is what we need to do away with, to say we have no problem with bringing in foreign investors, but let those foreign investors come here, bring their just knowledge, but manpower and all the support, technical support they need, we can find it in Zambia. For us, it's a creation, job creation. Our Zambian brothers and sisters, they're going to benefit, get salaries from those every month. If it means 25 years, so be it, for as long as they're maintaining our roads and our roads are not killing our people. That's my take.
In addition,
the chairman has really struggled with, connectivity.
No, he'll come back. That's why I suggested that moderator mule kwata kuna mwewe kaka provision aka internet.
The struggle is
You know?
real.
Yeah. Wapera kuka bevra. Ngamule mukushito wali pa market. Mula mipera kuka bevra. Ngata wikwi bakupera ka bevra. So why don't you give us 10 minutes?
The bevla is there, but probably the eating itself is what is the problem. The bevla is there, so the data is there, but the connectivity.
Here he comes. Just give him.
I can see. I should say you have spoken like you have spoken like a real patriot of this nation, and this is the nature of conversations we must rally around. The ideas are there, but sometimes we see the person more than the work that is supposed to be done. It is very true. We have submitted that as Zambians we have these misgivings. The government must listen, and like we have already said, on our part we are gentle. I think even my president Harry Kalawa, he's one who has never been on anywhere near shouting around like that. No. We believe that we can converse and communicate. I love the way he has come out. The observation is that yes, he's being reserved on the point that we can bring in expatriates. I disagree on our part. Our belief is that even the expatriate you are talking about, the knowledge level we have, Wakala Mbaba Mukelabai, you remember Professor Clive Chirwa, right?
I know. Sorry about your internet again. I know our brother Chirwa. We have the capacity, and that's why I must say, Kwema Zambian, we like bringing each other down. We like, instead of providing, giving our able people with well qualified, with the respect they deserve, but we tend to either kill their talent or demean them. So I understand the point where you are going about Chirwa. Professor Chirwa is now being used by Elon Musk
Elon
for
Musk.
that landing, for the landing gear, just a landing gear. That's colossal. That's a lot of money. Imagine
And
if we went there as a country to provide a gear as a country.
that's
That's more than
exactly
So,
copper mine
this
investment.
comrades, allow me to chip in. But why is it that the roads that have been done by our local people don't seem to be up to standard? Because, for example, I heard the mention of is it the Chingola? Uh, it's Chingola Solwezi Road. Um, yeah, I'm told the workmanship on that one wasn't that good, and probably that is one of the reasons why they prefer to engage. Is it Messrs? Yeah, the people that will be working on this project. Why is it that our locals don't put standard out there so that everyone is able to be satisfied and say this is great work?
well,
And even just to add on to what you have brought out, CJ, I would like also to find out, just like Chairman was saying, that we need to learn from the past. We use our past knowledge, presently, so that we impute into the future. Which roads can we point at and say this road has been done by our very own engineers,
By our
and
Zambians.
we are confident that yes, indeed, this
Oba
Ndola,
enjanji twalifirwa.
Lusaka
Even in
carriageway,
enjanji
dual
twalifirwa.
carriageway,
Yes.
can actually be done by them.
Exactly.
So that's
From all the educated people we have.
No, that's the problem. We have no confidence in our own education system. We don't want to use the availability, the resources that we have as a country. That's why you find that even where we are seated right now, and look at the clothes that we have. Which one of us is wearing a cloth made from a woman in our market, the tailoring and designing? We are failing to. Bonse hapa mwana designers from China, from Europe, from whatever. Why? It's the mindset. We don't, this mindset, if we can only change and learn how to promote our local products, our local people. Look, we dance to the music of foreigners. We are failing to dance to our own music. Instead of promoting, look at the way we pay our musicians, our locals. So that already goes a long way to say we are not that yet. We are not there yet, because we can't trust. Look at what happened to the previous regime. Look at what happened to the contractors. They purported employed some Zambian contractors. Look at what they did. Most of the contracts were left unattended to. They just got the money and left. What does that mean? So once beaten, twice shy. So the UPND government has realized to say, if we continue using our own people that have already done this, they have this track record of dishonesty. How then should we develop? Meanwhile, we need to work on our roads. Our people are dying. Who else is viable? Who else can we go to and say, come and help us? Havoc, what is this? Havoc International and Ocean, whatever. These are projects that were brought. These are companies that have been there, that are still domiciled in Zambia, paying taxes to our country today. They are operating from within our country. And they have the machinery, and they have the capacity, and they have the technology. Why can't we utilize them? If we can only give them conditions, if we can only come to terms with them to say, look, we want to give you this concession, but for you to take up this, here are our conditions. We want our people, because we don't want to see foreigners to come and take over when we are lacking employment in our country. Employ our people. This money will stay in Zambia. It is not going to go outside Zambia. The money will stay in Zambia. These guys, they'll only get to tuma profit. Of course, they will need profits, Navena. ama profits yabo, they are going to pay through those profits. They are going to pay the Zambian people who they've employed. Utu ashala popa mulu eto bala senda okutwala kwisa kumayanda yabo na nsho ndalama nga shafuma muno muzambia shireya kumyawo balalipirako nabo something ekala shala mu Zambia to kuri bazedaraye. So we are using that money is going to stay with us. If this money was coming from outside, maybe I would say, okay, apopena, we have no control. But our own money is here, and remember, we owe China more than 6 billion. So if they default, why not getting one of the 1 billion from the monies that we gave them already? It's easy to even enforce a judgment in that area if they default.
Gentlemen, allow me to be your enemy once again. I'm mindful of time, and time is never with us. I'm going to give each one of you 4 minutes to make your concluding remarks. And while you are making your concluding remarks, I'll just throw this in to Chairman Chalwe. The idea of NAPSA and the is it workmen's compensation also getting into being part of this project, wasn't it a good idea in that they will be able to gain interest from their investment in this project? I think we can start with you, Chairman Chad.
You are on mute, Chairman. We still cannot hear you.
Try again. Yeah, probably has to log in.
Oh no.
Mukelabai.
He appears also not to be here. And just as we are waiting for them, I've seen
I am
few
here.
comments. Okay, just a moment, Mr. Mukelabai. I have a few cognizance to make. There's Himba who's actually saying she's watching. Pesi Chama, not forgetting Mulungu Ruben, Jeremy, and Lance Sani. They're actually watching through Facebook. I thought, we could make cognizance of their, following. You may come through, Mr. Mukelabai, and get to respond to CJ's question as you are concluding.
NAPSA and workman compensation have the legal right to engage anyone to invest their money in any institution without any restrictions. They are investing into this road, and the money they are going to put in this road is not going to go forever. It is coming back to them. This time around, it's coming to them with interest. If they put 200 million, they may end up with 400 million, probably. If workman compensation put 100 million, they may end up with 200 million. And who is going to benefit at the end of the day? Their clients. But let Chairman take it over. I'll finish my 3 minutes later.
Can you get me?
Yes, please.
Okay, great. We are saying the deal where NAPSA is the one making the payment and saying we are going to benefit is an act of daylight robbery. That's the complete robbery. Why are we saying so? The ideal case should have been that foreign company comes into this country with their own funds. Then they sponsor the road network they are building, and then they begin to get interest out of it for the coming period that may have been agreed upon. But we have a peculiar situation where the Zambian people must pay the profit for those people who have come to do the business. Then it remains the duty of the Zambian people to pay the interest to NAPSA. Now I'm wondering in which sense we are supposed to celebrate where we are made to pay those who came to do the job and also the interest on the money they borrowed from our own people, which is our money because that is our NAPSA contribution, my pension. And somehow this equation doesn't make sense. Somehow the UPND, they are expecting us to celebrate that. No, we will not. Do it because you are forcing it on us as a people. But we will not celebrate when we know that we are paying the interest, that is the profit they are going to make on top. Then it is not the job of the ocean company to pay the interest on the money they are borrowing. It is the Zambian paying. Now you tell me how we should celebrate that. We are simply getting our money from the toll gates and paying it back to our Zambian people. The money, it's not the ocean company that is paying that interest. No, it's the Zambian people. We are stealing from our own people. We are playing games with our own people. We are not being honest. We are not telling them the truth. There is a lot of fishy issues on this one, but what is clear, number one, I speak on behalf of a very united opposition on this matter. We have been very clear that this deal is not in the interest of the Zambian people. That is number one. Number two, let them do what they are doing, because even if we were to tell them this is not correct, they will not do. But I believe that if Mukelabai was in opposition and Citizen First was the one in power, and they proceeded to act in the way UPND has acted, they would have risen up to fight this. Unfortunately, I wonder why, when they are now in power, they have lost all that sensibility which made the Zambian people look at them and say, this is the right party for the time being. It is unfortunate. I do not wish to say much, but I wish this to be very clear. A united opposition stands, and it stands with the people. You may have noticed that very few people are standing with UPND on this matter. Their members in the areas we meet from, they are just saying we also don't understand what this government is doing. In short, we reiterate our words. May UPND begin to listen to the people. Otherwise, it will be the shortest party, the shortest ruling party to be chucked out, because within 5 years, people may rise up. With technology, it's very easy for people to say, we do not need this. Listen to the people, because that is where the longevity of your stay in government lies. The people have cried out. Uyo Mwenda has been caught, that is President Kasonde. He was caught because he wanted to protest. That was the voice, and people were looking. They were seeing that, no. Yes, he may not have followed the processes, but what he's standing for is correct. May we have a government that is listening to the people. As opposition, we are very categorical on these issues. Please listen to the people. They want their engineers. You are right, maybe the quality has been low, but we can be able to up the game if the government of the day says we are going to be intolerant of lack of quality. Some of the bad roads were due to corruption, because I have an engineer friend who was telling me, you don't understand. When we get a tender from government, there are a lot of people who come, they will cut the budgets as if they know better how a road is supposed to be done. They are pure politicians. As if they know, they come to instruct us on how to do the road and what we are supposed to remove when we are putting quality considerations. If this government is pro-quality and it fights corruption, then we are looking at quality coming in, because government, if you have seen the way they use even cement when you are doing government jobs, you go like, wow, these guys, it's as if they just pick money from somewhere. Government is for quality, but when corruption is involved, where you should use 3 pockets of cement, They are going to use the 5 pockets of cement. Why? Because of corrupt politicians. This government promised the lack of corruption. The fact that they can't trust our engineers means that they don't trust their own politicians. They're going to meddle with the activities of engineering in the nation. So they go and pick someone else, which indirectly they are saying we are too corrupt as a government to even run this project. So let's go outside. These are important issues, Mukelabai, where our engineers, once you instruct them, all processes follow a certain menu and requirements. We need this to be done. It will be delivered and we'll have the best, and people outside Zambia will come and get our engineers to go and do their jobs. But as things stand, we have already indicated to them that in Zambia, we have no engineers that can do the job. If anything, go to Europe or go to Egypt or Morocco, collect people that can come and do your job. Once again, we lose out as a nation.
It appears he has been thrown out at a time that he had concluded.
So, Mukelabai, your 3 minutes.
Thank you so much. As we should not, we know ourselves, we know very well what we are capable of doing, and we have experienced this before, where our own Zambian contractors have been given contracts to run just simple feeder roads, just simple small little projects, and look at the outcome, and look at how we keep on spending money over the same things that they've worked on before. So it is going to be hard. It's going to be difficult, I know. Even though we want to really promote our own local products, we should just be able to change our way of doing things. Let's engage, of course, the locals, but at the same time, we have to look at the quality of work that they produce. And there has to be a spirit of competition. And as we are in a liberalized economy, Zambia is a liberalized economy, and we can bring any person, anybody that we wish to. That's why we even have different cars that we drive from different dealers. But if one Zambian today would come and want to start building, manufacturing cars, that would be wonderful. But for now, we have been beaten so many times. And we have companies that are already established in Zambia. So what is wrong with us using those companies? But that one we have already said that, Matt, on that aspect. I wanted to come to the issue of these parastatals. That when the parastatal company decides to give money or to invest, because giving is wrong word, to invest money in a foreign company that is running within Zambia, that is going to produce or build an infrastructure within our own country, to me, that should be a plus. I don't see why people should start shooting down the Worksman compensation and NAPSA for having invested. Why are we not shooting them down for the houses and shopping malls that they have invested in, which is not theirs, but they used foreign companies to construct those buildings, those nice modern buildings? Why are we not shooting them down? And why are we doing this today over this road? What is the difference between the road and those shopping malls? So to me, I find the argument is a little bit bizarre and ambiguous, because I don't see NAPSA losing their money, and I don't see NAPSA paying for the whole project. No, it's part of an investment. They are investing into this road. And how they are going to get their profit, it's really entirely up, not us to be involved, We have never told them how to invest in the first place. So they are going to, we know that our money, even probably even the very money that we have, is insured that if it is stolen or it is messed up, this 200 million they want to give, the insurance will pay back. We don't know that because we are not privy to information that are going on in their dealings when they are investing using our monies. Of course, these are our pensions money, but we don't tell them how to invest. NAPSA has invested so much money in our country today, in buildings, infrastructure, in so many things. And we have never heard people crying out to say, why are you doing this? Why are you using our money? What is the difference with this road today? Why is this issue being a big issue? Is Zambia also going to spend money? Is our government going to spend money into this project? Or this project is going to fix itself, even maintaining itself? This investor that we have brought in, these 3 private companies that came together, are the ones that are going to fix this road for as long as the government will be just monitoring, so of course through its parastatals, for example, and safeguard their interest.
Mukelabai, I wish we could really go on and on, but really due to time, we need to end here. And this platform is still here, and as long as issues are still hot, we'll definitely get to address them here. We sincerely appreciate your being here all the time, Mr. Mukelabai. Thank you so much. We do appreciate. CJ, you've been great on this show. Not forgetting our chairman Patson Chalwe. He's been struggling with connectivity, but he's still the man standing to the end. We greatly appreciate for being here, and we are looking forward to even seeing you. This program is here. Even next week we are going to have this program. I don't just know which topic we shall be looking at, but even as a by the way thing or the core business, we can still get to address this issue of the dual carriageway. Thank you so much, and people out there, thank you for following, thank you for viewing, and thank you for your participation right here. CJ, your last word.
Well, viewers, it has been a very great program. Thank you for all the participation. Mr. Mukelabai, Chairman Chalwe, we're really grateful for your submissions. We also want to recognize all the people that came through to make the comments. Our usual host, Himba, hasn't been able to make it today. She is also attending to some other duties, but definitely next week she will be with us.
Why haven't they come on the show today?
They are having various commitments, but definitely next week.
I don't want to use, I don't want to borrow that word.
we thank you as citizens first.
I don't want to borrow that word used by the incumbent.
All right. Mukelabai, CJ, Chairman, thank you so much. I think we can go on and on, especially that some of you are politicians. From myself, Chaza, and CJ, we are saying till next week. God bless you all. We are out of here.
You too, a politician. Glasses.